Hi everybody, Carol here. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to do another brush lettering of a quote, a New Year's quote by Alfred Lord Tennyson, and I'm just showing quickly how I draw the lines. You've seen this before, and that it is a 5.5 by 6 inch card. And I'm going to decorate the way I did yesterday. This is with a stamp set by Dilutions, and the stamp that I'm using is could be interpreted as banners coming down or as flames going up, and it fits on my little block here, my acrylic block, from corner to corner. Barely fits on there, but you can always go back and draw the lines in if it doesn't quite fit. On this, I put a piece of scrap paper on there because I thought maybe it had ink on it, but that's generally I don't, because I clean my stamps every time I use them, but that pigment ink will stain, and so that's what I was looking at. There wasn't any ink on there. I just wanted to be sure. So I'm stamping it up with the VersaFine, Onyx Black ink, and I have that little strip of black scrap up there just in case I got some overhang of the ink. I didn't want it to go on to the other sheet back there, so just mashing that down pretty well, although you will see that when I pull it up there was one spot that didn't make a very good impression, and so I go back and fill that in much later with one of my black Millennium pens. But anyway, I'm going to decorate this one and again talk about how we can use this as a card or put it into our little booklet of quotes. So I'm going to quit talking now and put on some music and do the lettering with my Pentel brush touch pens, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, so here I am back, and I sped that up a little bit, as you could tell, so that it wouldn't be so slow. And now I'm going to color these little flags, what I'm calling flags or banners, with Prismacolor pencils, and I'm going to speed this up terribly because it's long and drawn out, because I go back a little bit and try to do a little shading, make it a little darker. You certainly could use markers with this, and I could have used Gamsol on the colored pencils, and in some cases it definitely makes it darker. I found that to be true with blue and maybe the red too, but anyway, I didn't. But I used the colors red, blue, green, yellow, and orange, and then I did another group of pencils for red, blue, green, yellow, and orange in a different shade, just to give it a little interest. And I go back and kind of color on top of some of the other colors for some highlights, or just just to change the color, make it a little more interesting. And so I add a little bit of the blues on both of them, a little bit of the reds on both of them. And at the end, I actually go back and put some more on to try to darken it up. And that's why I say, if you want a darker look, you could use the Gamsol or just markers altogether. But when I got to the part where there was not a good impression made, that's when I use my Millennium pens, and I go back and finish out the stripes and finish out some of the circles. And because actually the stamp didn't go all the way to the top of the paper, so I went back and finished that out so it looked as if it did. And those Millennium pens come in different sizes. That's a pack there of, I think it's 5, and they're different widths. So you might use even a wider, a broader pen tip, but it just depends on what you're doing and what you're using. So it's just a sketchy stamp anyway. It's not precise, and so you don't have to really be that concerned about being perfect, because it is a sketchy look. And but I like it. It's fun. And I said yesterday that I'm using different colored inks, different colored pens, and then different colors on the decorations and the designs to so the whole book of the New Year quotes will be colorful, all different colors. With our Christmas, most of it was red and green, which is logical, but anyway, wanted to brighten this one up a little bit. And so I erase the lines and go back with my trusty neutral color, which this happens to be Sahara Sand. Use my makeup sponge and go around the edge just to give it a little frame and to touch it off. And then I wanted to show you too that how you could use this as a card. You could use a solid color background cardstock, or you could use pattern paper, and we talked about that yesterday on the other one. And then I wanted to show you too, well, first of all, I'm punching my holes because I did decide to, to continue the theme of making this into a binder and a little booklet. And so there are my rings, there are my reinforcements. But what I was going to say, I want to show you too how you could use this stamp. I made another one and colored it in, and how you could use it at the bottom if you really wanted to get into it, and then even put a different color at the back. So that would, to me, make a really pretty card. But or just if you wanted to frame it to have that quote in your house. So that's the end for today. Thank you for joining me. Hope to see you again in a few days, and have a wonderful day.